So we've also entered the period in Bitcoin where, people are trying to make something out of nothing, right? This kid Dylan decided to blow up the idea that the DTCC had put basically 100% collateral requirement on Bitcoin, and it took off, right? Bitcoiners that just, oh my God, we can't margin Bitcoin. Oh my God, we can't margin Bitcoin ETFs. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Failing to realize that, this is how the market works, right? And I don't blame him. Maybe he doesn't know, but this is how the market works. Whenever there is a volatile asset, the market needs time to understand how to margin that thing, because otherwise you can end up with systemic risks. And it happens all the time with stocks, right? So you'll have a stock, it suddenly gets volatile, and you'll get an email from your broker that says, okay, we're going to reduce the margin and leverage limits on this, and you need to make that up. That's a completely normal function of the market. And this is what's going to happen with Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin's going to go through an education process, not only for retail customers, but also for the market itself to understand how its volatility works. Do you think the market really wants to sit there and deal with an asset like this that's so volatile that now causes systemic risks for the lending within the market, the structures within the market? Of course it doesn't. So, but you're going to see periods like this where everything's going to be blown up out of proportion and whatever else, and big names are going to get sucked into this. But this is a completely normal function of the market. But what I'm excited about is the Hong Kong ETFs that go live today, in fact, right? So yeah, today Hong Kong ETFs go live. That's going to be quite interesting, considering there's no short side of the market there on the futures side. And there's a lot of exciting things happening here. But the main point why I wanted to make this video is to demonstrate that no matter how successful you get, there has to be an energy of, okay, well, what's next? What's next? What's next? And I think that's the right way to approach life. And so if you're sitting there with one Bitcoin, you should be thinking about what's the next Bitcoin? How long is the next Bitcoin going to take? You're sitting there with 10 Bitcoin. What's the next 20 Bitcoin, right? How am I going to get those? If you're comfortable living in a certain place, it's like, okay, is there anywhere else I can go to allow me to expand my life more with the people I love most, with the people that agree with the way that I think, et cetera, et cetera. All of these are compounding effects. And so, we are at a point now where the market is going to get interesting. There are going to be things that blow up that you just are going to look at and go, how the hell does this make any sense? It happened last time, and you just got to ignore all of it, right? Ultimately, your goal is to acquire as much Bitcoin as possible, and that's it. Everything else is a complete joke, right? You're dealing with a monetary network, which means people's opinions, people's thoughts, whether they like you, whether they're in Bitcoin or not, doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is how many dollars of the constantly expanding dollar empire are in Bitcoin. And so you've got to decide how many of your dollars that you've been given are you going to put into Bitcoin and own the scarcest asset humanity has ever created, not only for yourself, but for your future generations too. One of the things I would like you to do is subscribe to the channel, because it got me thinking even more and more about the lack of, societal responsibility that Bitcoin actually allows Wall Street to have. But ultimately, there are always only 3 rules to Bitcoin. Step number 1, you buy Bitcoin. Step number 2, shut the fuck up. And step number 3, you get fabulously wealthy.